I get that the Oscars has been over for like quite a while now. In fact, I'm wondering why the fuck am I still talking about the Oscars now? But the thing is, I still gotta make a video on it because I said that the Oscars was going to be shit. And well, I watched the full show and I gotta say one thing. It's 50-50. I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't right either. I wasn't expecting this year's Oscars to go the way it did because there's no denying the fact that Oscars this year has made history, with the first foreign film being Parasite winning Best Picture, Best Foreign Film, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay. Asian movies, or let alone foreign movies in that regard, don't usually walk out with 4 Oscars, let alone a goddamn Best Picture. So it's safe to assume that it's a pretty big deal, and it's definitely a huge step forward towards the world of, well, foreign movies. The fact still remains that, well, subtitles don't decide the movie's quality. It's how people watch it and how they enjoy it. And, well, Parasite proved to be just that. Enjoyable and thought-provoking enough to break records. Joaquin Phoenix winning Best Actor for his performance as the Joker was probably one of the better highlights of the ceremony. And perhaps to top it all off, his speech was just amazing. Everything that he talked about in his speech was just great. He just really spoke his mind. He spoke about the betterment of the world and not all about politics and shit. Really, he's that person that just seems so goddamn nice, even though he plays a goddamn lunatic. If you remember Joaquin Phoenix, he also played in Her, where, you know, he falls in love with an AI and shit, but I digress on that. His speech, fucking amazing. His performance as a Joker, fucking amazing. Does he deserve Best Actor? Absolutely! He went over and beyond himself, and really, any other option wouldn't have done this ceremony any justice. Props to Joaquin Phoenix, well deserved. I like to think that this year's Oscars improved on last year's mistakes, because last year was a piece of shit and was completely forgettable to say the least. But this year it's a completely different story. They really took what went wrong last year to heart, and they really improved on it. It was a major improvement. Because the lack of a host wasn't so felt throughout the whole ceremony. The performances were entertaining enough to keep us interested, and the other people that worked as makeshift hosts that came on and off the stage every now and then to introduce the nominees or to just keep the show going, they did a good job as well. So it's not like one host doing the job is a bunch of people doing a job of what a host should be doing. And you know what? I think I'm okay with this. Whether the Oscars will get a host this time next year is beyond me, and I don't really give a shit, but this is a positive step and I'll take that as a good thing any day. But that's all the positives I can talk about this ceremony. Now let's talk about everything bad. Now, let me get this out of the way. Billie Eilish's performance in the memorial was good, I'll give it that. But what wasn't good was the audience when the memorial was going on. Yes, I get that they gave tributes to Kobe Bryant and all. Yes, that's all great. But why was the audience selectively clapping for certain people? If it's a memorial, you gotta show a vow of silence. That's what memorials are for. That way you equally respect everyone. You know, internal appreciation, not be like one guy that's famous shows up and it's all like and then another guy shows up and it's like it's supposed to be a cricket noise, but whatever. Another thing that bothered me was something that also a lot of people notice, that being Why isn't Luke Perry and Cameron Boyce in the memorial? The fact that they didn't really, acknowledge them kinda shows some level of disrespect, especially Luke and Cameron, because Cameron's life was cut short really tragically with, an epilepsy seizure and he died in his sleep. And then there's Luke Perry who suffered a stroke and also got his life cut short. And he was in goddamn Once Upon a Time in Hollywood! Oh jeez, okay. Really, this was something that happened after the ceremony came to an end and all the winners were announced. You know that how Donald Trump was talking shit about how Parasite shouldn't have won Best Picture because it's a South Korean movie, and then of course you got the people complaining about why is it in subtitles, why isn't it dubbed in English, 1-star review, and of course you got the dumbass reporter being like, okay, so quick question, Mr. Korean director who had a Korean cast and isn't really good at English, why is your film in Korean? Like, I don't understand, it's a foreign film, but why is it in Korean? I don't understand. Like, it's so weird. It's like as if it's from a different country, but why isn't it in English? And like, why are people suddenly hating on the show that was so lauded for how good it was because of like, oh, it's not in English, so it shouldn't win Best Picture. They're just lazy to dub. They're just so lazy for putting on the subtitles. They should like learn English, man. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Otherwise, there wouldn't be Best Foreign Film in the first place if everything's in fucking English. People don't complain when they watch the sub for animes. People will complain when they watch the dub on anime because the dubs are fucking terrible. So why is this so different? Really, I think when it comes to this ceremony in particular, it can be said in 3 stages. Shit before, great during, shit after, because the nominations had caused so much hate because they're all saying how it's all men here, men there, why is it a sausage party, man, where's the coochie? And when the ceremony actually happens, like, hey, that's pretty good, and then it's over and it's like, Asian domination, China, or whatever the fuck it's call Donald Trump, be like, oh, we got problems with them with trade already and now they're dominating this country. Like, fuck off. This is a goddamn movie. Just enjoy it. Overall, the ceremony isn't terrible. It just... what happened before and after the ceremony was shit. And I just hope this doesn't happen again next year. Because if it does, fuck me, what's even the point of being interested in a movie anymore when you're constantly getting flack for it?